Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tom.
And I'm Chris.
And you're here today to discover what we drive and why. So, Chris, tell me, what we're looking at here.
So this is my personal car. It's a 2016 Audi R8 V10 Plus. Bought it approximately a year and a half ago with the intention to use it as a bit of a business tool and a personal car as well. So I wanted something that could give me the best of both worlds really, something that I could use, go to some meets, go to some shows, join some clubs, and also develop it further in terms of performance.
Okay, so what, if I'm looking at the car now, what can you tell me, what have you done to it? Just from the outside,
From the outside, cosmetics, we have got the Auto ID front lip, carbon fibre, we've got Vossen wheels, and we've also lowered the car on KW coilovers slightly.
But they're not standard colour, are they, those wheels?
Those are not standard colour. They have been modified in terms of they've been diamond cut and they have been lacquered with smoke finish.
Very nice. And why was it an R8 and not something else?
Yeah, that's something it's a great question, because when you're, it's a great problem to have, but when you're faced with your next choice of car and you've got a certain budget, it's what do you choose and why? It's a great question. And I guess the answer to that is I wanted something supercar but also practical, and in the back of my mind I always wanted to modify it, so I didn't want to go too exotic, but on the same note I love the V10 engine and the big displacement of it, and in the back of my mind I always wanted to turbo a V10 is the honest answer. After a project car we had in the garage, it was a Hurricane.
I remember.
Yeah, and it was just, after I drove that car, there was just no going back, basically. Hurricane was my all-time dream car, really, Lamborghini Hurricane, but I don't know, I just didn't want a twin-turbo one myself, because it's one of those cars that I would think would be, I don't know, not better left alone, but if it's me personally owning it, I probably wouldn't want to turbo it. So I thought, this is underneath the same thing, more practical and less money. So it made sense.
And how did you find this car?
That was thanks to you actually, wasn't it?
That's right. Get on our list. We find the best cars.
Yeah, so I blame you for the start of this one actually.
Good.
I think I maybe mentioned it briefly that I was looking for R8s. Next minute, Tom's firing me links like they're going out of fashion, and I did want something that stood out in terms of the colour or the spec, and to be honest, both for me were sold the car instantly. As soon as I received the link, I was straight on to the owner, trying to do a deal. And it's so popular, everyone wanted it. He had loads of people lined up for it, and there was no deal to be had. So
sometimes that's the way it goes, but looks amazing in this colour.
Yeah.
Because as I understand it, there's quite a few Nardo R8s around, but a lot of them are wrapped, and there's not many factory painted Nardo grey. Is that
correct?
Right?
Yeah. The gentleman who sold it to me, however true this is, I think it's fairly reliable, but there was 17 Gen 2 R8 V10 Pluses in Nardo grey. So it is an Audi exclusive colour for the R8, so it's quite hard to find.
Okay. And then, aside from the mods, what optional equipment we're looking on this car from the Audi factory? Apart from the paint, what else was spec?
So headlights, got the laser headlights. They're a really expensive option actually, and they're incredible in the dark. They do make a huge difference. Later lights, it's got the carbon pack, so carbon mirrors, carbon side blades, rear diffuser and rear wing. It's also got the black pack, I think they call it, with black grills, black badges. We've got bucket seats inside, we've got Alcantara headlining, Alcantara steering wheel and gear knob, which came from factory as well. Not a lot of those have it.
That's right, the Alcantara headline is quite nice thing.
Yeah, it does make it's subtle, but it does make a nice difference.
Bigger fuel tank, is that one?
85 litre fuel tank, because obviously these do goes on the juice, so that's a great option, especially if you're doing longer trips, driving tours, that sort of thing. And the carbon engine pack, which is quite rare. Not a lot have them, but that was a good selling point. So when you look through the rear glass, it's nice.
Yeah, very very nice.
Yeah, so I think that's it. there's probably something I've forgotten, but yeah, it's very high spec anyway. Very high spec. Mag ride. It's got the sound system. It has got, yeah, there's a whole list. That is the party piece of this car. It's now running 1200 horsepower, so we've done the Autotalk twin turbo kit on it, making 1200 horsepower, which is ridiculously quick. We've used it for quite a few events, runway days, drag strip racing, and development really. The idea was to develop our own kit. We've progressed this package throughout the time we've had the car. So we started at like 850 horsepower, then went to 1000, and then ran out of fuel. So then we had to upgrade the fuel system, bigger injectors, swell pot, and then run ethanol as well, to then get it to 1200. So it's a fairly long journey, but it's becoming more and more of a popular package. So that's why we want to develop our own take on it.
And that is, just so people know, turbos, all the hardware to go with it, and then the electronics as well, right?
Cybex ECU to control everything. It's the safest way of doing it. You can do it on a standard ECU, but we don't like it that way. The drivability is quite poor, and it's a little risky on the engine, to be honest. So we always upgrade it to the Cybex ECU. This car's got a Cybex all-wheel drive controller as well, because traction becomes a bit of an issue. So that helps, distribute the power to where it needs to be to keep it on the road. So.
Perfect. And so 0 to 60, what we're looking at?
I think it's measured at 2.3 on the Draggy, or 2.2.
All right, guys, it's first and only attempt. When you're ready, let's do it. 60. Oh my God.
Very fast,
I mean, you can't go and buy anything that's as quick as that, can you?
I don't think you can.
You've basically got to build your own.
You have.
That fast.
Yeah.
And top speed?
Well, it will max the gearbox out, which is 220 mile an hour. So I did a VMAX runway day. It's 1.2 miles long. Basically, I hit the max speed before the end of the mile. So it will max the gearbox out. That's one thing the Hurricane has, is a longer final drive. So that would be, if you want to go quicker than 220 mile an hour, you could always do that. But quite honestly, it's pretty frightening.
Yeah.
So that's plenty for me.
What's the quarter mile time?
The quarter of a mile is 9.1 seconds, which is very fast. We did that on a Santa Pod test day, so that was running the full 1200 horsepower with a launch. So it's
unbelievable.
Very fast.
If you want to go fast, that's the car to do it in.
So that's it about my car. What about your car, Tom? What is this?
This is a 911 GTS. It's the 991.1 GTS, which was a naturally aspirated engine. The 991.2 went turbocharged, and now the GTS is turbocharged, of course, moving forward. But I wanted the naturally aspirated engine. I also wanted it from the point of view that I thought the residual value would remain high. That was key for me, because I wanted to kind of protect the downside by it not depreciating too much. And this is widely regarded as the sweet spot in the 911 range, because it's got the styling cues almost of the proper GT cars, with the centre lock wheels, and it's got the wide body on it, but also it's got a level of comfort and usability. So
why this model? I guess you've not owned a Porsche before.
No,
correct.
first one.
So what was it about? I guess the same thing you asked me. You had a budget, you wanted a new car. Why go Porsche?
One very good reason is basically the length of my legs, and I can't fit in that really, and I can't fit in a lot of other stuff that I probably can't afford. So this, you can put the seat really far back. The steering wheel comes out a long way. There's good headroom, and I remember going to the London Motor Show in 1998 and seeing a 911 and just being like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I've always loved the Porsche brand, always, and I think they're super cool cars. But the comfort thing was one of the deciding factors, because there was last summer when you had your R8 and we had a yellow one in stock, and we drove them to the Sharnbrook, and I drove from Milton Keynes to Sharnbrook and back, and by the end of it, which isn't a lot of driving, I was like, I'm ready to get out of this. this is not comfortable. So that is why I ended up with this car.
Yeah, understandable. So with the Porsche brand, goes with it the club culture, does it? Something you've got into recently, so
it's an interesting place, the Porsche scene. It's like people arrive at the Porsche scene and they stay there. That's a lot of people do anyway. Certainly, they might have a Carrera S, then they might have, I don't know, a Cayman, they might have a GT car, whatever. But yeah, very much. There's loads of events always going on. Really good crowd involved with all of that.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed becoming part of that and joining that, and it's probably a brand I'm going to stick with, to be perfectly honest, because I love what they're about and what they do, and their products are great. So it's been a great 12 months I've had this.
Yeah, quick 12 months, isn't it? So what have you done with it since you've had it? In terms of work carried out, do you have any problems with it?
No, well, the truth be told, because I took out the Porsche warranty for 2 years, I can't make any changes to the car.
Okay.
And the only thing I've done is had the car re-ceramic coated. It was ceramic coated before I got it.
Yep.
Wasn't looking in great shape, so I asked Ryan at Lava Studios. New coating. It's already got paint protection film on the front end, mirrors A-pillars, but he then applied a ceramic coating to the car.
Yep.
And I put Michelin PS4S on it because it had P0s, which were horrendous, and the PS4S were much better tyre. Not only that, they actually look better on the wheels, which was another bonus.
Yeah.
But that is it. Warranty, no mods. Made it look better, essentially.
Yeah.
Took this letterbox thing off the front, which normally has the plinth, which has the number plate on it.
Yep.
Not sure if I like the sticker totally, but it makes me very conscious not having a front plate, like some naughty boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it essentially. A year of trouble-free motoring. Service intervals are 2 years on these.
Yeah.
It was just done when I bought it, so I haven't really had to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the great thing about the German stuff, isn't it? The service intervals are quite long for such a special car.
Yeah.
It's, I was going to ask you, but I didn't remember if you said it.
That was the reason that I bought this car in particular. I was looking what was out there, tentatively sort of, okay, there's a red one, there's a yellow one, hasn't got this, hasn't got that, okay. And I wasn't really looking to buy a car, but I noticed this on the piston heads. And a chap had advertised it privately. He had used photos of when it was detailed. They clearly weren't his photos, so it kind of drew me in, and I saw it had the yellow ceramic brakes on it. And I thought, I've not seen one with ceramics, and if I don't get this one, I won't get one.
They don't come up, do they?
That was my thought. I was like, if I don't grab that one, I won't end up getting one because I'll never see one with ceramics. And that is ultimately, I think the next day we jumped in the car and went and got it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's got the ceramic braking system, which is like a £6,500 option, very unusual on the GTS, don't see many at all with it. It's got the dynamic chassis control, which will make the car behave differently on track, almost like preloads the dampers on the outside to keep the car flat rather than stop it from rolling over. It's got the active suspension management, which is also lowered 20mm. The GTS is normally lowered 10mm over the Carrera S, but it's lowered 20mm. It's got the dynamic lighting system, full LED headlights with adaptive headlights and high beam assistant, which is really good. It's also got carbon fibre interior package. It's got 18-way seat adjustment. It's got the GTS interior package, which you see the stitching on the headrest in red with the carmine red dials. It's got adaptive cruise control, which is very unusual on these. I don't think I've ever seen another one advertised with adaptive cruise. And the colour is obviously an option. It's got the roof. It's not glass, but it's the sunroof.
Yeah.
That was another option, which people may or may not want, but
it's pretty well spec'd then.
Yeah, very well spec'd. Hasn't got heated seats, which is unusual, but I've found if you keep a car in a garage, actually I've never really reached and thought, oh, I really need a heated seat this morning. Whereas if it's outside, then maybe I'd think,
a bit different.
Okay.
I guess it's not your daily driver.
No, it's not. Don't drive it enough, to be perfectly honest.
Next question is, what would you go to? You said you wanted to stick with the brand.
Yeah, next car for me would be a 99 1.2 GT3.
Very nice.
Which is 4 litre engine. The 0.1 was 3.8. We've got a 4 litre engine in the 0.2. And would it be a better car than this? I don't know. They have the rear wheel steer, so it might be, it'd be different. Would it be more suitable for road driving? I don't know if it'd be better than this. It'd be better on the track, certainly. The brakes are bigger. I'd want one with a climbing frame in the back and harnesses, you know, I think. So that would be my next step from this. And with all that said, I'm actually going to advertise the car.
Yep.
My plan was to advertise it in the spring because it would have 6 months Porsche warranty remaining. It would be 6 months away from service. But I've actually thought, as the roads are so bad now, I'm going to advertise it. So this car is going to appear on our website. In the headlights do stay on, by the way. It's just been on for too long. It's going to appear on the website. Just keep an eye out for it. And you know, that's everything from my side. But Chris, obviously yours is an unbelievable machine. And for those that haven't seen it, where can they see it in action?
Okay, so we've got a couple of YouTube videos out on this car. We've, like I said earlier, we've done a couple of events, mainly CARWOW.
Wow! Wow, 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 this car's fast, my God.
So CARWOW, I've had this car twice now, so we'll put some links in the description of this video with this racing. I think the videos are, you know, it's against some big power GTRs, Porsches and McLaren in the CARWOW video. Yeah, Jamie, Officially Gassed, has also done a review on the car, so yeah, you can probably see a bit more of the mechanical side of things on those videos and also on the Auto Talk website. If you're interested in the build, there is a link in the description about how we built it. So if you want more technical info, that's where you can find us.
Brilliant. Okay, so one last thing. If you want to see what's arriving in stock every week, don't forget to follow our Instagram page, check the website, and from us, we'll see you next time.
Take care.